There's nothing quite like a little home cooking to treat what ails you. And with a return to Staples Center Wednesday night, the Lakers return to their winning ways. Tonight, another challenger from the East arrives with a new coach and a new attitude, looking to represent come June. Lakers, Pistons next. Welcome live once again to Staples Center as Fox Sports Net proudly presents Los Angeles Lakers basketball. Kobe Bryant in Eagle, Colorado yesterday was delayed getting back because of the storm that blew through here on Wednesday night. Missed practice, was out early about 4 o'clock shooting and getting some extra work in. And speaking of work, nobody puts in a harder night's work than Ben Wallace the last 2 seasons, NBA's Defensive Player of the Year. And tonight, the Detroit Pistons here at Staples Center take on the Los Angeles Lakers. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Paul Sunderland, joined as always by Stu Lentz. Should be a good one tonight. The Lakers, as you saw, back on track, beat Toronto. They're now at 6-2. Detroit on a West Coast swing at 5-3. And one of the reasons the Lakers, if not the biggest reason the Lakers are off to such a good start, is the health and activity of Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, you know, in the last game the Lakers played against the Toronto Raptors, Shaq was moving with such quickness. He was after everything, whether it was on the offensive glass, helping defensively, just running the floor. His activity level was really, really high en route to 23 points and 14 rebounds. If he can continue with that kind of activity, that kind of enthusiasm with the good health, right, look out this year. He's going to have another big one.
He does, and we talked about it, however, have to get out of this free throw shooting slump early in the year. He's just 5 for 15 against Toronto. For the Detroit Pistons, how do you stop their backcourt? And is that the key to having success against them?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is, because they have their backcourt of Billups and Hamilton, and they really look to score a lot. The Lakers have to do a lot of talking. You have to be willing, if you're a front court player, forwards and centers, to tell your guards where the screen is coming from. If not, Chauncey Billups, who's averaging 19 points this year, will have a big year. Then you got Rip Hamilton to deal with, and he's a guy that they really look forward to as their #1 option offensively. Comes off of a ton of screens, so you have to be working as a team defensively. Very similar to one play that the Lakers made last year, or last week, when Karl Malone made that steal on a screen guarding somebody else.
Derek Fisher, Gary Payton, and Kobe Bryant going to be very, very busy tonight at the defensive end trying to slow down Rip Hamilton and Chauncey Billups. And for more on tonight's game, let's send it over to Bill McDonald.
Thank you so much, Paul. It's kind of funny. Everybody behind me, all the Lakers, are watching the Shaq video that hopefully you had a chance to see during the pregame show, and they're getting a big kick out of it. Let's talk about a key matchup tonight. It's going to be at the 4 spot. Really the heart and soul of these two teams. Karl Malone for the Lakers. You know, that sore hamstring, did not practice yesterday, but he's one of the Iron Men in the NBA. He will play tonight. Karl Malone coming in with a 14-point, 10 rebound, 4 assist average. But Ben Wallace, you know, he's moved over now to the 4 because Eldon Campbell, former Laker, will be playing the 5 spot. So now with the power forward position, Ben Wallace means so much defensively and rebound-wise. Ben Wallace looking to become the defensive player in the NBA for the 3rd consecutive year. And he makes up for so many of the deficiencies of some of his teammates defensively when he sits back in the paint and makes things difficult for the opponent. That should be a great matchup at the 4 spot, Malone and Wallace. The game is right around the corner. When we come back, it's Paul and Stu, play-by-play.
Hello, Laker fans. Van Allwright, proud to be reminding you to stick and stay for the Southern California Sports Report right after the game here on Fox Sports Net. Of course, all kinds of coverage of this Laker Piston contest. And we got the Clippers night against the Warriors, plus day 4 of our 12 days of college hoops with former Bruin and former Laker and current head coach of USD, Brad Holland. You know, after tonight, the Lakers host the Miami Heat on Sunday, and then they hit the road again as they take on the same Pistons north of the Motor City next Tuesday, and then the back-to-backer at the world's most famous arena in New York City on Wednesday. Stu and Sunday and the tip are next.
Welcome back once again to Staples Center. A crowd expected of 18,997, a sellout for the first of 2 regular season meetings between these Eastern and Western Conference Members of the NBA, first starting lineup for the Los Angeles Lakers. Malone, Devin George up front along with Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and Gary Payton. Head coaches Phil Jackson, his 5th season with the Lakers, 12th all-time in victories. 2 more victories to move up to number 11. Starting lineup for the 5-3 Pistons, who split the season series with the Lakers last year, each winning respectively on their home floor. Tayshaun Prince out of Dominguez High School up front with Ben Wallace. Former Laker Eldon Campbell in the middle. Good to see EC back. And Richard Hamilton and Chauncey Billups. An interesting coaching matchup. Larry Brown in his first season after the last 6 with the Philadelphia 76ers. 25th overall as an NBA and NBA head coach. 32nd overall. Now head man for the Detroit Pistons.
Obviously, the Lakers want to get off to a good start and have a good game, and if they want to win, they better play similar to the way they played against the Toronto Raptors on Wednesday when they only turned the ball over 10 times, 23 in the previous game. That's a marked improvement. And the field goals allowed, they held the opponent, the Raptors, to only 35% when they were giving up 53% in the previous 2. This game is going to be a much harder fought game, obviously, than the Raptor game.
Yeah, Detroit a much better team, and under Kevin O'Neal, a different system going in Toronto. This is a good defensive team. Burns Tayshaun Prince, backdoor cut. Give the assist to Malone.
Well, Tayshaun was trying to overplay. He overplayed him. No help on the backside. Kobe with an easy dunk.
And Kobe, watch all night long, him chasing Rip Hamilton. Hamilton of the white headband. Ben Wallace, much more aggressive this season, Stu, offensively. Talk about aggressive with the basketball. Chauncey Billups misses that badly. Shaquille O'Neal with the first of what will be many rebounds. Currently ranked 3rd in the NBA. Payton down the lane. That's where the Lakers want to go. Quickly, out 4-0.
Well, when you have a good decision maker at the point, it really makes it nice because the defense really never did shut him off. So why pass it? Take it the distance.
Here's Hamilton on the curl. Back to Eldon Campbell. His first shot up and good by Eldon Campbell. The last couple of seasons in Charlotte and then New Orleans. Was part of the Eddie Jones for Glenn Rice trade some 4 years ago.
Well, Karl Malone's going to be important because Ben Wallace likes to play off the ball and be a shot blocker from the weak side. So his man is going to be available a lot of times.
Into Shaquille. Field goal percentage has been tremendous the last couple of games. However, he comes up empty on his first. Wallace with his first rebound. Kobe picked the pocket of Hamilton. Coming 1-on-2, flares to the right side, back to Devin George, up fake, brings it back out. Smart play by both Kobe and Devin George.
Well, the defensive play was made. That was what started it all off.
Shaq down the lane, throws it up. Using his right hand a lot, Stu, going when he's moving right to left. If
I'm going to have to remind him that left hand is alive. It's alive. He looks at it. Once in a while during the course of a year, you'll see Shaquille make a shot with his left and look at it like, yeah, it's still alive. And, you keep the ball away from the defender when you do that. But Shaquille feels that he's going to be able to overpower just about anybody, which is basically true, and get to the free throw line. And what was that? Was that a make?
That was a make. An early make.
The big fella.
Shaq, as we told you at the top of the game, was 5 for 15 against Toronto in the last 2 games as he makes them both. And you know he's been working on it the last couple of days in practice and at the shoot-around this morning. 9 of 23 in the games prior to that, Memphis and Toronto. Lakers quickly out on top, 6-2. Inside, the Campbell made his first 15-footer. Nice move inside, blocked by Shaq. Shot clock down to 10. Good head fake. Ben Wallace, as I mentioned, more aggressive this year offensively, Stu, makes the 12-foot step back.
Well, having worked with Ben for a number of years in the offseason, I know he has the capabilities of being a pretty good offensive player, and I'm glad to see Larry Brown instituting that in his thought process.
Last year, Wallace averaged look at that. Beautiful play. Shaq O'Neal, little touch pass over his head to Kobe.
Even Kobe had to smile on that when he says, big fella. That was nice.
Malone and Shaquille assisting on both of Kobe's baskets. Billups with it on the perimeter. Had 33 in the victory by Detroit last March at the Palace.
Oh, good help by Devin George that time.
The help once again. Here comes Billups, who lays it up and in. The Lakers broke down after good team defense at first.
One thing about the Pistons, they're known as a defensive-minded team. They don't shoot, they don't score a lot of points, but they'll make you work hard on that end.
Malone, a head fake, gets up. Ben Wallace backing up, and it's his first 17-footer.
That could spell bad news for Ben Wallace because, one, he would have to stay home against Karl, and that would take away from his defensive rebounding, his shot blocking, all facets that he does well.
wrestling away from the play. I think that foul is going to go against Kobe Bryant, trying to keep the ball out of the hands of Rip Hamilton.
The pass that Kobe got from Shaquille was really nice. It was tipped a little bit, but the idea, just catch it, keep it over your head with your back to the basket. Don't even look, just throw it. That's vintage Magic Johnson.
Billups around the screen, picked up by Payton. Shakes, bakes, goes to the baseline, misses a 17-footer. Malone with a rebound. Payton quickly out of the backcourt, really looking to push the tempo, pull up 17-footer. Nobody stopped him, so he said, thanks very much. And the Lakers have made 5 out of 6.
He did a good thing. He got a screen from Shaquille, and the defender could not get around that screen. And so Gary just knocked down the jumper.
Here comes Hamilton on the curl. Jump shot is good once again. He is a fine outside shooter on the move.
And that's why Kobe picked up that last foul, was because you have to really deny him that pass, because he just catches it and elevates in a hurry. He's got one of the quickest releases in the game.
12-8, Lakers lead it. Wallace on the overplay. Malone with it, just made his first jump shot from right there. Devin George goes to the floor, and a foul is going to go against Eldon Campbell in the lane.
Well, how many times have I told you about little guys setting screens on big guys? Big guys don't like that at all. They're not very, they don't do finesse. They don't try to go around the screen. They try to go through the screen. That's why a lot of teams set guard center type screens.
So Eldon Campbell has to quickly go to the sideline with 2 personal fouls. That is a very tough start for the former Laker. Mohamed Okur out of Turkey comes in, really been playing well, and came on like Tayshaun Prince last year during the playoffs when the Pistons were eliminated in the Eastern Conference Finals. They were swept by New Jersey. Shaq wants it against Okur, not nearly the size, strength, or experience of Eldon Campbell. Out to Malone, can he make 2 in a row? This one to beat the clock, rims in and out. Prince with a rebound.
Just barely beat the clock as well.
Prince coming off a career-high 16 and a losing effort in overtime at Golden State, and that bumping foul is going to go against Malone. Third of a 4-game road trip for the Pistons. They lost the first game at Sacramento to break a 5-game winning streak, and then were upended in back-to-back games overtime on Wednesday against Golden State.
Well, Shaq guarding Rabracha, and it's good to see him playing again. He had a very serious back injury a year or so ago, and there was concern that it might be career-ending, but he's obviously worked hard and gotten himself back into the lineup.
Also missed 50 games as part of that, Stu. When he was out with the back, they detected an irregular heartbeat and had a very, very difficult time with it. Payton on the wing. Still has it all the way down the lane. Nice pass to Malone. 17-footer wide open is good. Give Payton the assist.
And you see how Karl shoots so much more effectively when it's as a first resort as opposed to a third resort.
Well, we talked about it, Stu, that he was probably being unselfish to a fault and passing up wide open jump shots to the detriment of the team. He was working so hard to fit in. Nice pass to Rabracha, who throws it down. Hamilton beating the pressure defense of the Lakers.
That was a good play that time. Off the dribble, Hamilton with a nice pass. Shaq had slid over trying to shut him off, and that left Rabracha open for the dunk.
Payton again working against Billups. Devin George comes out to help against the pressure. 6:53 remaining in the first. Lakers leading at 14-10. Kobe in the corner looking for somebody to go to. Comes around the screen, still on the dribble. Finger rolls it in the lane. No rebound taken by Wallace.
Well, he'll be saying that quite a bit, because Ben Wallace is a rebounder.
Last year's top rebounder in the entire NBA, and Shaquille among the leaders this year. So, nice ball movement. Giving it up. Malone missed the layup.
Now, did we just talk about maybe passing to a fault?
Yeah. Payton had a layup,
Gary Payton had an absolute layup there, but he wanted to reward the big guys, and that's what smart guards will do. That they'll make sure they reward their big guys, because they're the ones that rebound the ball for you if you want to run. They're the ones to protect your backside when you get beat off the dribble. So Gary was trying to get Karl another hoop. He'll get him 2 free throws. Let's see what Malone does from that strike.
First personal foul on Ben Wallace as Malone goes to the line. Had 17 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists on Wednesday night against Toronto, as well as 3 steals. 7-11 from the line, and he makes his first attempt of the evening.
You know, while he's getting ready to shoot this second one, I want to say a quick get well to Andy Bernstein. Andy has tweaked his back and not feeling real well, but we know we can't get along without you, Andy. Hurry and get well and get back to Laker time.
One of the great photographers. You have seen so many of his pictures around the NBA, on NBA Entertainment, and certainly here at Staples Center. A wonderful creative photographer. Both free throws are good by Malone. Billups with it. The Lakers lead 16-10. Just under 6:20 to play in the first. Bob Sura has come on to replace Hamilton. Rebraca, nice move by Billups on the spin. Got bumped. No foul is called. Malone, a strong rebound in traffic.
Well, the reason they didn't call a foul on Billups, I thought, is because he's the one that threw his legs out to try to draw the contact.
Kobe attacks the basket after the head fake. Sheds the defense. Kobe off to a quick start with half a dozen. The Lakers lead by 8.
And I'm just happy with the defense to start the game for the Lakers. They're helping one another. Seemingly, they're communicating verbally, and that's very important to team defense.
Here comes Prince, naturally a left-hander, working right. Rebraca goes up over Shaquille O'Neal and has his second basket quickly off the bench.
Yep, second basket again because Shaquille was in a help situation.
18-12, 5.5 remaining in the first. Kobe attacks the basket once again. Foul is called by the outside official. It'll be 2 free throws coming to number 8.
Well, really looking a lot better to start this ball game than they have in quite some time. Led by Gary Payton, the point guard. The Lakers leading it 18-12 on Fox Sports Net.
And at the NBA and your Los Angeles Lakers.
Bill McDonald back at Staples Center. Great start for the Lakers on both ends of the floor, up 18-12. A couple of things that Kurt Rambis pointed out to me before the game. Keys for the Lakers. You know, Detroit can be an excellent transition team when they want to be. Good defensive teams normally are. They force you to do things you don't want to do and then get out and run the floor. So the Lakers have to be wary of that. Another thing is Detroit's a good defensive team. Stu and Paul were mentioning that. So the Lakers have to quickly get rid of the ball and especially rotate the basketball to guard against the jump switch defense and the rotating defense of the Detroit Pistons. Interesting start to this game. For more, here's Paul and Stu.
It'll be interesting to see if they can continue with some consistency in those departments. That's been one of the problems for the Lakers, consistency over a 48-minute ball game.
Kobe to the line for the first time this evening on the early season, averaging 21.9 points per game, 5 rebounds to go along with 4 assists. Makes the first of 2. Kobe an 83% free throw shooter so far. And Bill McDonald was talking about ball movements too. The Lakers have 7 baskets, 6 assists on those 7 baskets.
And Shaq has half of them.
Yep.
3 assists for the big fella. So that tells you everything's working right when the ball is into the post to start.
Kobe continues that quick start now with 8 points, and the Lakers lead it by that, 20-12, 5:15 remaining in the first. Rebraca, who's hit a couple of shots, misses that one. Good tip by Kobe to Karl Malone.
Yeah, that was a smart play. See, now Kobe won't get anything out of that, but that's what keyed Malone's rebound.
Payton with the step back. He's been struggling with his outside shot, particularly from downtown. He's got 2 quick ones from the perimeter and 1 on the break.
Well, when your point guard has the ability to do just about what he wants, shooting the ball, dishing the ball, it makes it easy.
Billups, a little stutter step, and then he found number 34. I think I better stutter my way back outside. Misses that. And look at Karl Malone that time, same as Kobe. Tap it to Shaq.
That's just smart basketball. I mean, you think you know you can't get the rebound yourself, so you make sure your teammate does.
The league of the best players, and I'm not sure how many players in this league could make those plays. Malone looking for some cutters, forces one to Payton backdoor. Bad choice, and the Lakers turn it over for the first time.
They were trying to add to that 8-2 run they put on the Pistons in the last 2.5 minutes. So the Lakers doing a good job in not turning the ball over, and that's another key for them.
Tayshaun Prince out of Dominguez High School, then went on to the University of Kentucky. Pretty much a non-factor during the regular season last year, but he really emerged. Sura down the lane, Shaq's right there, hands off nicely. Rebraca misses an easy shot, good block out by Malone.
The Lakers are really helping one another, and that's been the key.
Malone already with 4 rebounds. Shaq backing down inside and lays in the flat-footed layup.
Did you see Ben Wallace trying to get there in time? Wasn't there in time, and Rebraca paid the price. Quick interior pass from Kobe to the big fella Shaquille O'Neal, and right to work. Drop step, basket, 3-point opportunity. Lakers up by a dozen right now. Shaq looking to see if he can get his 3rd free throw in a row.
Second personal foul on Rebraca. That one came up short. This time Devin George tips it out, keeps it alive to Shaquille. Hand off to Payton, who goes baseline, beats the double team out to Malone. Nice pass to Devin George. His first shot on it came up way short. Nice rebound by Wallace.
First shot of the night for Devin, and the way the Lakers have been moving the ball, that's unusual.
Sura, nowhere really to go, comes to Wallace. Rebracha, Shaq giving him all kinds of room, and why not? Made his first. He's looked uncomfortable since then, Stu.
Yeah, but he had a wide. That one was really open. He should have really taken his time.
Karl Malone pulls up quickly on the 18-footer. This game certainly played at the Lakers' tempo so far. Inside to Wallace, back to the basket. Working on Malone, steps inside, little hesitation. Boy, got in way too deep and literally laid it up and in.
But Karl tried to draw contact and then step away and see if he could make Ben lose his balance, but Ben regained his form and got an easy hoop.
24-14, the Lakers lead it. Oh, Devin George had that ball tipped away by Tayshaun Prince. Inside to Shaq. That rims in and out. Good offensive rebound by Devin George, who has it stripped. Hand is part of the ball, and Devin got hammered. Let's hope it's not a thumb.
Well, he's seemingly in a lot of pain there as the ball was stripped out of his hands. We've got a timeout. We'll check on Devin, and when we come back, we'll give you the report. 2 minutes and 56 to go in the first quarter. The Lakers are up by 10, 24-14. You're watching the Lakers on Fox Sports Net.
Back at Staples Center, 2:56 remaining, 24-14 here in the first quarter. And by the way, Fox's movie, Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World, starring Russell Crowe, opened today in a theater near you. Go see the movie. Make a point out of it this week and see the movie that has taken America by storm. What an incredible performance by Russell Crowe. It's Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World, now playing only in theaters. Paul?
And Bill, during that commercial timeout, we got word from you, I might add, that Devin George is fine, according to Gary Payton, longtime distinguished trainer of the Los Angeles Lakers, now in his 21st season, as Devin looks to inbound. 23 seconds on the shot clock, 2:55 remaining in the first. Derek Fisher, Horace Grant now on with George, Shaq, and Payton.
Zone. The Lakers have to recognize.
And Ben Wallace trying to play in front of Shaquille O'Neal, who's looking for the lob. 10 on the shot clock. Fisher brings the ball right side, out in the corner to Devin George. Pull-up jump shot, missed off the front of the iron. Nice rebound by Prince. Prince still has it on the dribble. Oh, boy, all the way. Phil Jackson's not going to like that.
Well, we just talked about good team defense, and first rule is stop the ball. Nobody stopped it, so Tayshaun waltzed into the lane.
His first basket after going for career high. Shaq has that ball deflected. It goes with Horace Grant, but he's on the end line. So just the second turnover, if I'm not mistaken, Doug, for the Lakers, and it is.
Well, the Lakers started out shooting the basketball very well. 9 out of 12. Since that time, nothing for 6.
Bobby Sura with it right side. Okur goes down into the low post. Billups still out there, and that's Gary Payton, who's going to get nabbed for holding Bobby Sura, cutting down the lane. Sura coming over from Golden State in an offseason trade for Cliff Robinson.
A lot of people think that guarding a guy with the basketball is difficult, which it can be. But guarding a player that knows how to play without the ball is even more difficult.
Brian Russell comes on for the first time, still very much looking for his jump shot. Billups with it, 7 on the shot clock. Fisher fights around his screen, goes down the lane, tough fall-away jump shot. Good basket by Chauncey Billups.
Boy, that was a difficult-looking shot, but he made it easily, and now the lead that was once 12 is cut down to 6.
Billups, as we mentioned, Stu, in the beginning of the game, averaging 19 per game on the windshield wiper. Payton, Gary Payton's feeling his offense tonight.
Yeah, and when there's going to be nights like that for all these players. One night it'll be GP, one night it'll be Kobe, then Shaq, then Karl, then whomever else. That's the beauty of having that kind of versatility.
Between Kobe and Gary Payton, they've taken 8 shots. Kobe's missed the only one. Ben Wallace attacks the basket up and under. Good help by Shaquille. Here comes Derek Fisher, who was hit about the face inadvertently by Chauncey Billups. Inside to Shaquille. Detroit, they play in zone, they play in man-to-man. I'm not quite sure. They're just surrounding Shaq. Misses that one, almost tipped up and in. Shaq staying after it. Okur with a rebound.
Well, one thing about Okur, he'll run to a spot. He's a good shooter, so you got to make sure you find him early.
Okur throws a weak pass outside. It's deflected, but finds its way to Prince. Pull up 18-foot jump shot. No, Grant there for the rebound. Should be the Lakers. Ball slapped out of bounds by Mehmet Okur.
Well, this game started out really nice, really clean, but the last few minutes, it's turned a little bit on the ugly side as far as turnovers, missed shots, etc. The Lakers have to make sure they keep control of their tempo and their style and not allow the Pistons to dictate.
That's the consistency you were talking about, and another familiar face. First we saw Eldon Campbell, now it's Lindsey Hunter on in his 11th season, now back in Detroit where he began his career. Spent 1 year with the Lakers, won a championship. Fisher down the lane, looks inside for Shaq. He's being bumped 3 seconds. Is that a 3-second violation? Yep. Good call. Shaq was in there a long time.
Well, Shaq was anticipating the shot by Fish, had pretty good position, so good, in fact, that Fisher decided to throw a jump pass to him, and that's what drew the officials' attention, and the 3-second violation.
Third turnover now for the Lakers. The officials this evening: Leon Wood, Bennett Salvatore, and Scott Wall. Hunter with it. 20 seconds remaining in the period. Shot clock is about 3 ticks ahead. Running a 1-4. Hunter on the weave, comes to Syrup. Syrup spins away from Payton, loses the ball because he was hacked on the arm. The Lakers had a foul to give, and now both teams over the limit. Detroit has been for quite some time. Tremaine Folks will come on out of Fresno State, picked up as a free agent after spending a couple of seasons with the Clippers. He'll come in for the last 12 seconds, and excuse me, but it will be free throws. Ruled that was a shooting attempt by Bobby Syrup. Corliss Williamson also coming on. A couple of years ago, he was the 6th man of the year, and a lot of substitutions for the last 12 seconds.
Well, I'll tell you something about Corliss Williamson. He can be a problem if you don't get to him and match up with him with somebody that can bang bodies as well as he can, because he'll set himself up in that post. And he's not very tall, and he knows how to use that wide body of his and score.
The year he was 6th man of the season was in 2002, when he averaged 14 points and almost 5 rebounds. Free throws good by Syrup. The Lakers lead it 26-20. 8 seconds remaining in the period. Here comes Payton. Russell down in the corner. Payton gets in the lane. Outside to Luke Walton. Nice pass to Payton. He's hit a couple from there. Can he get another? No. Tipped up and in. Will they count it? They count the basket, but it will be reviewed.
Yeah, they will definitely look at that one. The official definitely signaled that it was a good basket by Shaquille O'Neal on the rebound, offensive rebound of the missed shot by Gary Payton. And the Lakers, if that counts, and they've already said that it does, that you can tap. Ooh, when they review that one, they may change their mind. But we played 1 quarter, and the Lakers come out of it so far with an 8-point lead, 28-20. What will it be when we come back on Fox Sports Net?
After the first period, it's 26-20, Stu, and we're going to take a look at the reason why.
Well, it was a close call, like you said, the closest we've had so far, and for that reason, they took the points off. You cannot have contact with the basketball with any part of your hand once the clock is off. The ball was definitely on Shaquille's fingers when the clock had 3 zeros, thus negating the basket.
Good call by the officials, and I like the replay rule when it's used in those situations. Those are the only reasons it can be used. Lindsey Hunter out there now with Okur. Down the lane is Tremaine Folks, and he is bumped as we take a look at the first quarter stats brought to you by Corona.
Well, after starting off shooting the lights out, the Lakers and the Pistons both end up shooting about the same. 46% for the Lakers, only 45% for the Pistons. 7 free throws. Well, that's a lot for 1 quarter, but the Lakers made 6 of them. The Pistons only got there twice.
That foul was on Brian Russell. Quick pull-up jump shot by Hunter. No. Battle for the rebound. Goes through Russell, and Kobe's got it.
Well, this lineup on the floor for both teams, this will probably be when this game is decided to a degree. Who can open up a gap?
The deep unit for the Lakers, Stu, and what I mean by that is after the first 5 plus Derek Fisher has not been at all efficient so far this year as a group. And you're talking about the likes of Horace Grant, Kareem Rush, Gennaro Pargo, Luke Walton, and Brian Russell. They average 10 points a game.
Yeah, but you can't I don't think you can put all 5 of those guys on the floor at the same time. Right now, there's 2 starters on the floor with them, including Derek Fisher, who should be a starter.
Out to Derek Fisher, the floater in the lane, good from straight away. Nice move by Fisher with just a couple of ticks left on the shot clock.
And when you put them out there with starters, it makes everything else easier for the Celtics.
Nice steal by Horace Grant, stripping it away from Syrup. Just underway here in the second period, a sellout crowd at Staples. These 2 teams will play again next week in Detroit. Malone tracks down that entry pass, backing down, hands off to Kobe, nowhere to go. Malone open from 16 feet, thought about it. High archer. Boy, that looked good as soon as it left his hand, Stu.
Well, the ball seems to be coming out of his hand very effectively in this game. Even in the misses, it looked like his shot as Kobe is playing the SWAT machine as he swats the shot, takes it the other way.
Kobe looking for somebody to slash to the basket. The Lakers had numbers. Detroit hustled back defensively. Kobe takes it in. Malone, head fake. Backs, oh, he passed it in. Kobe turned, thought that Malone was going to shoot it. On the turnover, here comes Hunter.
Another pass when the shot was there, but again, unselfishness.
Williamson with it. 6'6", but a strong, wide body. The jump hook in the lane, one of his best moves, and he gets it to roll over Malone.
Yeah, he's got a nice, strong body, so if you're going to guard him, you still have to try to affect his shot. Not necessarily block it, but make him aware that you're there.
6'7", 245, and I think that's being generous on the light side, but very, very strong. Like Malone, there's nothing extra about him. Kobe spins down the lane, still on the dribble. Nice pass to a wide open Derek Fisher. Oh, he rimmed in and out.
That was the first three-point shot attempted in this game by either team.
And the Lakers, after taking a lot of three-pointers on the road trip, Asura beats everybody baseline. The Lakers have backed off of that shot the last couple of games.
And without Shaquille on the floor, no shot blockers, so the Pistons looking to go to the rim more.
30-24. The Lakers continue to lead. Grant down inside, deep position, fall away, jump shot, nicely made.
Fall away is right, because he shot it and he fell away, all the way down to the floor.
Come on, Horace. Okur can't get up there and block your shot.
Yes, he can, Horace.
I guess he can now. Nice pass inside, and Williamson throws it up and in, and a foul is called on the play. Good lob pass over Horace Grant.
What were they doing? Fronting. How many times have I told him about fronting? If you're going to front, you got to put pressure on the passer, or else he pinpoints it. Horace was in good position, but the pass was perfect. No help. Easy basket. Three-point opportunity. So, guys, when you got to talk out there. Tell the guy you're fronting so that he can close the gap between him and the passer and keep his hands really high.
Williamson completes the three-point play. 9:02 remaining in the first half. It's 32-27 Lakers. Fisher out there now with Grant. Kobe. Brian Russell stays on. Down in the low post is Malone, and he too is being fronted. Fisher tiptoes along the baseline, has that pass deflected out of bounds by Tremaine Folks.
Fisher's looking at the officials, talking about, I got fouled 3 times on that possession, and the whistle didn't sound one. So they take a timeout to talk it over. The Lakers up 5 on Fox Sports Net.
Away from ordinary. Teams coming back out on the floor. The Lakers currently at 6-2. The Pistons come in at 5-3. They've lost 2 in a row, and activated today is Jamal Sampson, signed as a free agent in the offseason. He's back in there. Move, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Right on cue. There's Jamal Sampson. Played 1 year of college basketball at Cal. Unfortunately, Slava Medvedenko, recovering very, very slowly from that bruised left heel, will have to miss the next 5 games at least. And that's really a shame. Slava told me on Wednesday he thought that he might play tonight. Kobe down in the lane is fouled hard, and it's going to be 2 free throws coming. That's a real setback for Slava.
Well, you know, Slava said he hoped to play very soon, but obviously the medical staff don't feel that that heel is ready yet. So, and the 5 games that he has to miss, they're going to come in a hurry. I mean, it's not like it's a long stretch of time. And hopefully in that 5-game stretch, Jamal Sampson will get some time and we can see what he can do. I know he can block some shots. That's going to be an area when they take Shaquille out. If they've got somebody else in there on the backside that can be a defensive presence, that'll help this team tremendously.
Jamal Sampson came down with back spasms after the second preseason game over in Hawaii against the Golden State Warriors and has not had any competition since. Been speaking with him because he's been traveling with the team, Stu, and he thinks his back has been pretty much 100% for the last 10 or 12 days. Sura comes right side off a couple of screens. Good help by Grant. Passed inside. It was kicked. That's a good call. Ball will be on the side, given to the Pistons in front of their bench.
Well, they're all the players. The Laker players are saying that it has to be an intentional act of passing the ball. And Horace Grant was just getting his feet in defensive position, and it just happened to hit his foot. It did look like he was trying, but I don't believe he really was trying to kick that basketball.
Ball inbounded to Hunter. Set the lineup for you for Detroit. Corliss Williamson, 5 quick points off the bench out there with Okur. Oh, bad pass. Fisher in the passing angle. Attack the basket. Inside Hunter. Oh, Lindsey Hunter rejected his old teammate, and Hunter can do that. Out to Horace Grant. Fisher still down. Great defensive play by Lindsey Hunter. It's a blocking foul just over midcourt against Brian Russell. What a play by Lindsey Hunter.
I saw that coming because Lindsey can really elevate. I thought Fish would try to go under the basket, take off from the same spot after the steal. Fish has a great lane. He knows Lindsey's a leaper. Go up and under, and you get the contact and possibly and the basket. Three-point opportunity. Sometimes you guess right, sometimes you guess wrong.
Brian Russell goes to the sideline. Devin George coming back in, showing no ill effects of that hit he took on the hand earlier in this game. But Lindsey Hunter, now 32 years of age, the 10th overall pick by these Pistons back in '93. Moved to Milwaukee and the Lakers. Sura with it, top of the key, behind a screen. Kobe fighting through that. Sura, nice move down the lane. This is an easy layup. Grant with the rebound, and he's fouled from behind.
Bob Sura is saying to himself, why didn't you use the glass properly? You go down there, you put it in your left hand, really look pretty on the shot, and then you come up short trying to throw it over the top of the rim. So because of that, the coach says, Bobby, come on over here, sit with me. If you made that shot, you could have played a few more minutes.
Let's talk about that one a little bit. Chauncey Billups comes back on. 7:52 remaining in the first half. Lakers lead at 34-27. They led 26-20 after one. Miami coming in on Sunday. Karl Malone, head fake, fall away, jump shot at the free throw line. Missed that one. Williamson with the rebound. Here comes Billups. Shaq on the sideline along with Gary Payton. Outside to Williamson, gets in the lane, nice pass. Folks wants to go to work. Where you going? He kicks it out to Okur. Nice passing and better defense by the Lakers.
And much better defense by the official. Chauncey Billups was spotted up in the corner. Lindsey says, I see you're open. Let me get you the ball. And the official says, nope, my defense is still pretty good. He throws it. Fisher kicks it, and the official's head gets into the way.
That was Scott Wall. That's Fish getting back for no foul being called against Lindsey Hunter. Hunter comes around the screen, 5 on the shot clock. Oh, beautiful layup and in, but nobody came to help Fisher.
And he exposed the ball in his left hand for a long time, so you knew what he was going to do, shoot the left hand scoop. You got to step over. Oh, he shouldn't call that an offense. Didn't it look like he stepped over? No?
Boy, that was a big collision by two kids from Arkansas. Corliss Williamson and Derek Fisher. Look at this.
Well, at the last minute, it seemed like Corliss stepped over, definitely stepped over. Both feet were not planted after the step over, so that's what turns it into a block.
Second personal foul on Fisher, both teams with 3 team fouls in the period. 7:02 remaining in the first half. Inside to Ben Wallace, who had a nice start working against Malone. Backing down, head and shoulder fake. Did he travel? No. Throws it up. Can't get it to go. Flip block out again by Malone. Kobe ahead of the pack. Boy, the Lakers don't run nearly as much when Gary Payton's not on the floor.
No, they don't. They've got to get the ball into the, a point guard's hands. They couldn't find Fisher that time.
Nice play by Lindsey Hunter. Kobe saves it onto the floor. Players down everywhere. Now into the corner. Scramble situation. Nice cut by Malone. That shot erased by Wallace. Here comes, oh, look at this steal. Devin George throws it down. Crazy looking play.
Well, that was a sequence that'll go into the flubber ball. There was a lot of flubs in that one. Block shot, turnovers, and finally an absolute dunk by Devin George.
First basket by Devin George. I'm glad he took it. He's been cold lately, and that can get you going, believe it or not. Chauncey Billups inside. Nice finger roll over George.
Well, the Lakers got the easy dunk on that play. They haven't been shooting the ball very effectively. Remember we talked about they start out 9 out of 12. Since that time, they've only been able to convert 5 out of 19 shots. So their offense is starting to sputter just a bit. So Phil Jackson says, come over, get a rest, and maybe we can restart it on Fox Sports Net. 6:01 to go in the half. The Lakers leading by 5, 36-31. And you talk about Keystone Cops. They had a sequence of right before the timeout where it was not like the coaches drew it up. I mean, Kobe saves it. Horace is on the floor again. And finally, oh, we got a layup for Karl. Oops, rejected by Ben Wallace. And Devin George says, what's all the fuss about? Let me just go ahead and make this pick.
Like a handoff.
Yeah, exactly. Let me hand it off to Devin. Devin, get the dunk and stop this madness.
We'll get a half-hour break somehow, Stu. We're going to have to telestrate that play.
Oh, good luck. I know Larry Brown has seen a lot, but I don't know if he's seen that. Maybe he has when you look at the number of teams he's coached. Boy, 10 of them, including college. That tells you he doesn't like to stay in one spot too long.
Kareem Rush on for the first time out to Malone in his first couple of jumpers. Can't get that one to fall. That foul's going to go against the Pistons. Shaq crashing the offensive boards.
He had great position. They had to grab his arm to try to stop him from getting a hand on it. He still got a hand on it, but the whistle sounded and foul called.
Malone now 3 of 8 from the floor, but you got to take those wide open shots, Stu. I'm glad he's putting it up. He was hesitating before.
Absolutely, absolutely. He's playing with a sore hamstring. I mean, his hamstring is sore, but you won't keep him out of the line.
Bad entry pass, even over the top of Shaquille. On the turnover, the Pistons have got it. Billups on the dribble, kicks to Prince. Good closeout by Devin George. Lakers lead it by 5. Inside to Ben Wallace, high archer over Shaquille. Another rebound taken by Malone, and Gary Payton back in the game.
You see Shaquille challenge that shot and made Ben shoot it higher than he wanted. That's better sometimes than a block shot.
Down inside to Shaq, who's being double teamed away from the ball. Battle for it on the floor. Malone now down there. Comes out to Billups.
I thought that Keystone sequence was over.
Outside, Tayshaun Prince measures a 3, came up well short, hustles after his long rebound. Okur with it, he can shoot that. Outside to Hamilton, who's been sitting for a long time. Rebound comes off the back of the iron. Kareem Rush ahead of the pack momentarily, turns it on, spins inside, throws one up off glass. Nice move, can't get it to go.
That would have been a good play after he did his spin move to pass the ball in the corner to Gary Payton.
Got to get back defensively, though, and pick up Hamilton. That's a layup, basically, for Hamilton from 17 feet.
And Phil Jackson up off the bench again. When Phil gets up, you know he's not a very happy coach.
Lakers lead it 36-33. Rush looking inside to Shaquille, who hasn't had many shot opportunities in the last 5 or 6 minutes of playing time. Lakers are getting careless. That entry pass is not there. Deflected out of bounds. 9 on the shot clock. The Lakers will have it.
Well, the Pistons known for their defense and have been for quite some time, but they still have to be able to enter the ball to the post to Shaquille. He's being guarded by Okur, and I mean, Ben's trying to help from the weak side, but Karl is keeping him active.
Devin George from downtown off the back of the iron. Wallace takes the rebound. So the Lakers, who started out so very well, led once by as many as 12, have really had this game slow down, and now the Pistons only trail at 36-33. Square up and make it 36-35 as Okur gets his first basket of the night.
It'll be interesting to see how much longer Phil Jackson will leave this lineup on the floor when he come back with Kobe Bryant.
Kareem Rush into the front court. Detroit has really picked up on their pressure defense. Inside to Malone. Nice pass to Devin George. Loses the handle. It comes to Rush. 7 on the shot clock. George has got it. Payton down the lane. 2 on the shot clock. George takes a tough shot from the left wing and makes a long 2-pointer.
Right before he caught the ball, he peeked to the other end of the floor to look at the shot clock. That's a smart thing to do.
Lakers lead is 3, and Larry Brown wants to talk it over with his new team.
Well, he's really unhappy about something that happened on the defensive end, so he brings them over and sets them down, and he'll let them know just what it is as the Lakers go up by 3 on the jump shot by Devin George. And you're watching it on Fox Sports Net.
Hello, everybody. Van and right in the studios of the SCSR right here at Staples Center. Coming up on the Lakers Halftime Report presented by Jack in the Box. It's Jack in the Box. Jack Haley joining us in the studio to take a closer look at all the first half action of the Lakers and the Pistons. The Lakers Halftime Report presented by Jack in the Box, starring Jack in the Box. Stick and stay for that. Right now, back to Stu and Sunday.
3:35 remaining in what has really become a slow-paced second period after a quick start for both the Lakers and the Detroit Pistons. The Lakers on top 38-35 as the two-time defending NBA's best defensive player, Ben Wallace, comes out to take on Karl Malone.
You know, with that timeout, all that did was allow Kobe to get on the floor, and now there's 3:35. You know, I would have probably tried to keep Kobe off the court. Now the Lakers have their starters back for the final 3:35.
Okur with it, just above the top of the key. Payton now guarding Chauncey Billups. Or I should say, taking the ball away from Okur. Nice spin move. Did he double dribble? Did he travel? One or the other or both. In any case, it's going to be a turnover.
He was overplaying Chauncey Billups so much. Chauncey tried to go a different direction, and the passer, Okur, thought he was going the other way and passed it to Gary Payton.
Go, go, go.
Shaquille O'Neal, Stu, has not taken a shot in playing the whole first period. His last shot was with 1:05 remaining in the first. He's added to that almost 7 minutes here in the second period without getting a shot attempt. Pull-up jump shot. That's blocked by Kobe. Here comes Devin George.
That was good defense that time. That was real good defense.
3:05 remaining in the first. Shaq wants it on the angle. There's the pass. Good help by Ben Wallace coming from the weak side. 3-on-2. That is such a travel. Unbelievable. Beautiful play if you can walk from here to Inglewood.
Ben Wallace from the weak side. That's where you pump fake that one. Have whoever he's guarding flash up to the post, and he's wide open.
That ball almost stolen. Tayshaun Prince runs into Karl Malone. He'll be up momentarily. Prince, accidental contact, but Karl took a pretty good shot. First personal foul on Prince, and Detroit is out of fouls. The Lakers with 3 team fouls so far in the period, so it'll be free throws coming to Malone.
Well, what's the one thing that has happened in this game that has changed the tempo and everything else is the fact that they are now overplaying all the passing lanes to into Shaquille. They're putting a lot of pressure on the passers, and they're having difficulty getting the ball to the big fella.
Karl Malone at the free throw line. So far he's good on both of his attempts, has 8 points on 3 of 8 from the floor. Want to remind you that our next telecast on Fox Sports Net will be this Sunday as the Lakers take on another former Laker, Eddie Jones, and the Miami Heat. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. with Lakers Live pregame show right here on Fox Sports Net. Free throws both up and good by Malone, and the Lakers lead it 40-37. Again, their largest lead was a dozen. Billups is being bumped and fouled by Payton, so the Lakers are now out of fouls.
Gary picks up his second foul. When you're guarding somebody 35 feet from the basket, nobody else around, you can't get away with anything because you're totally exposed to 6 eyes, all of them owned by officials.
Has the Lakers' inconsistency once again reared its head, Stu, or is Detroit really making them not play as well offensively?
Well, I think it's both, though. I think they are. Some say it has to go to the Pistons, but by the same token, the inconsistency is here for the Lakers.
Wallace has got it. Almost stolen by George. Here comes Prince. 1 second on the shot clock. Forces that one up. Good rebound by O'Koor. Well, Billups doesn't have to look twice. He looked down at his feet, says, I got my 13s behind the line, and knocks down a 3. And just like that, tied at 40, and Billups has got 9.
Well, big leads in early in games at this level are very dangerous. Lakers had that 12-point lead, and this evaporated.
Just asked Sacramento up on 24 last night to Portland. Shaq pump fake away from Wallace. Nice move by Shaquille. And he draws the foul, and we'll get to the free throw line.
Well, he's trying to see if he can stop a 20-10 run by the Pistons, outscoring the Lakers by 10 in that stretch. Like I said, most of the credit has to go to Detroit. They've been the ones that have stepped up on the defensive end.
First personal foul on Ben Wallace, and that's very good news for Larry Brown and the Pistons.
That's why they don't have him guarding Shaq.
That's right.
Defensive player of the year, but you don't want to put up on the big fella. You'll get him in foul trouble in a hurry.
Just like Eldon Campbell, as we talked about, Stu, he picked up 2 personal fouls. Eldon Campbell played a grand total of 3 minutes so far in this game. First free throw up and good for Shaquille.
And Shaquille loves to play against centers who are named defensive players of the year. It brings out something in him. I remember back a couple of years ago when Dikembe was the defensive player of the year, and the finals came around, and it was nasty.
O'Koor, a pump fake, spins, has the ball deflected away. Malone and Bryant were there. Here comes Payton, wants to run, finds a seam, lays it up and in. Beautiful move by the glove.
Going to have to keep an eye on that matchup with Malone and O'Koor. If he's guarding O'Koor, he's not right now because O'Koor got away with a foul going down in transition that time. Karl gave him a nice look.
Payton now with 10. Billups with it. 1:12 remaining in the first half. Here comes Sir around the screen. Kobe fights over it. Sir's lost his dribble out to O'Koor. Wants to get around Shaq. Nowhere to go. That's off of Payton. Good defense by the Lakers. 24-second shot clock violation.
O'Koor went to the basket. He was so afraid that Shaquille was going to block it that he tried to pass, but actually nobody was over there. Even if Ben Wallace went over and tried to catch up to the ball, but shot clock had already expired.
8 turnovers now. Larry Brown's looking for a technical. He's out on the floor. I know the coaching box is in the rule book, but doesn't really matter. He's asking for one. Kobe behind the three-point line. One dribble. Okur comes out to help. 12 on the shot clock. Malone with it. No foul. Here comes Surah. Lost that. Ben Wallace stripped it away. Surah head fake. Outside to Billups. Wants another three. He's knocked to the floor. Would have counted had it gone. Kobe goes over to help him up. No question about the foul.
So that means we got to sit around for 3 free throws now as Chauncey Billups will be going to the line. About 42 seconds left to go in the half. Lakers up by 4, but that will be cut after these free throws.
I want to remind you, coming up at halftime, we'll send you to the Southern California Sports Report studio for the Jack in the Box halftime report with Van Wright and Jack Haley. Chauncey Billups, an expert free throw shooter. So far on the year, shooting it at 93%. Surprising, as good as he is, Stu, that this is his 6th NBA team. It took him a while to find his legs.
Well, there are a lot of players that experience that. I think probably the one that stays in my mind currently is Jimmy Jackson. You know, very talented player. Really helped the Sacramento Kings last year and then moved on. Now he is in Houston.
And he's starting for Houston. And he played very well last year. Free throws are good. And with 40 seconds remaining, the Lakers lead it 44-43. Kobe on the right wing, still looking to attack the basket. Wallace comes over to help and got a piece of it. Nice block by Ben Wallace.
The Lakers went for the trap back there, and the Pistons didn't make them pay, because when you have 3 guys guarding one, and he gets rid of the ball, you got problems.
Larry Brown shouting out instructions, wants to position his players on the floor. Okur above the three-point line. Here comes Billups around the screen. Malone comes over to help. Bad pass. Devin George. A foul is taken.
Breakaway.
That should be. Breakaway. That should be a free throw and the basketball.
He's just calling loose ball foul.
Wow.
Seemed like he was in the front court and ahead of the pack. Nobody in front of him. Chauncey Billups with the pass that was not handled very well by Ben Wallace, and Okur with what turned out to be a pretty smart foul, because you know Devin can make a dunk. Let's see if he can make 2 free throws.
8 seconds remaining. Detroit will have plenty of time to get a final look. Kareem Rush will come on, and it turns out to be a much smarter foul as Devin George misses the first free throw off the front of the rim.
And with that miss, the Pistons take a 20-second timeout. The Lakers leading it by 1 on Fox Sports Net.
Players coming back out on the floor. The Lakers leading it 44-43. Devin George missed the first of 2 free throws. Luke Walton comes on with Kareem Rush. All guards out there now, Stu, to switch on every screen.
Not only to switch on every screen, but to protect against a foul in the last 8 seconds of the half. They take out Shaquille, Kobe, Gary Payton, so they know that they did not do what they wanted to do in the first half and expand upon that 12-point lead, so they're going to need all the fouls available for them in the second 24 minutes.
Devin George at the free throw line, as I mentioned, missed the first. Been shooting it pretty well from the line. He was 10 of 13 coming in. Second free throw up and good. The Lakers showing some full court pressure. Walton on the ball. Down along the baseline, and boy, Detroit was ready for that. Here comes Chauncey Billups all the way down. Lays it up and in. Wow. Nice structure by Detroit. Luke Walton from just over midcourt off the front of the iron as the first half comes to an end. The Lakers got out to a very good start. Efficient, shot the ball well, led it by 6, but here we are. Tied at the half with the Lakers 45, the Pistons 45. Now let's turn it over to Van Wright and Jack Haley for the Jack in the Box halftime report.
You know what's happening? Hey,
The post to Shaquille. Leading scorer in the ballgame was Chauncey Billups with 14. And for the Lakers, 3 players with 10. Karl Malone, Kobe Bryant, and Gary Payton. When you hold Shaquille to only 1 out of 5 in the first half, you know you're going to be in good shape, and that's where the Pistons find themselves.
And Shaquille O'Neal played 18 minutes in that first half, Stu. Took 1 shot attempt on which he was fouled in the second 9 minutes. Elgin Campbell left all alone. Detroit looking for what it would have been their first lead. He comes up empty. Same starting lineups for both ball clubs. It's Kobe Bryant, Gary Payton, Karl Malone, Shaquille O'Neal, and Devin George. Out there, Rip Hamilton, Deshaun Prince, Ben Wallace, Eldon Campbell, who picked up 2 personal fouls in 3 minutes inside on Shaq, and Chauncey Billups now chasing Gary Payton. Payton, a tough 19-footer, no. Wallace takes the rebound easily.
For the Lakers, that time again, late getting into their offense. Just seemed to know what they wanted to do and win.
Eldon Campbell down on the low post. Got a very good left hand and shows it to Shaquille O'Neal as he lays it up and in.
Well, that's the hand Eldon prefers to put the ball in when he dunks or anything. He has a better grip of the basketball with his left hand. Gets an easy hoop, and the Pistons go up by 2.
Payton out of the backcourt, a scowl on Gary's face, and he carries that a lot of times, but I think he's really frustrated right now, as the Lakers should be. They were out and rolling, as Kurt Rambis told our Bill McDonald. Kobe Bryant ties things up again at 47 with a pull-up jump shot from 15 feet.
Coming from the weak to strong, when he caught that pass, he was wide open. The Pistons, if they play defense like that, they can be a good shape.
Payton goes below the screen, and Chauncey Billups makes him pay, so both teams trading baskets. The Pistons back on top, 49-47.
You go below the screen on non-shooters, then obviously fight through the screens with guys that can shoot.
Devin George going baseline, outside to Malone. Inside to Shaquille. He'll put this one away.
Well, nice lob pass that time, and Eldon Campbell was somewhat fronting, but didn't want to pick up that quick third foul, and Shaq with an easy deuce.
Shaq's got 8, tied once again at 49. We played a couple of minutes in the 3rd period. Little shove pass to Eldon Campbell, 15-footer no. Gets his own rebound, rejected by Shaquille. Inside, throws it outside to Hamilton. Kobe closes on him. Good help again by Shaq, being very active, and Eldon Campbell comes out of the pack to make a 16-footer.
Well, that was good. I think it was good movement of the ball, though, by the Pistons. Rip Hamilton had a shot that he could have forced, but made the pass over to Eldon.
Shaq has it back to the basket. Wants to go inside. Little skip pass looking for Malone. Was intercepted. It was not a good pass. Here comes Deshaun Prince working on the dribble. Nobody stops him. Kicks it outside to Billups. Yeah, easy play to call. You made it right. Good call, Stu. You called it before the official did.
I mean, he gets away with that a lot. He did that probably 3 times in the first half. When you're dribbling with one hand, that free hand cannot be used to ward off the defender. And he gets called on the play with Kobe Bryant. Turnover. Ball back to the Lakers. Lakers trailing by 2.
First personal foul on Billups. The Lakers are perfect at home at 3-0. They are 3-2 out on the road. Kobe's got it, comes to Shaq at an extended pinch post. Kobe behind the 3-point line, around the screen, stutter steps, has the ball nearly stolen away. 4 on the shot clock. Kobe's going to go, pump fake, inside. Shaq knows the clock. Can he get it off? Did he beat the clock? No, it was still in his hand. 24-second shot clock violation.
There's the inconsistency we've talked about in the first part of the ball game. Lakers start off really playing well, but can't maintain anything over the course of the game. I mean, you want to be consistent for about 42 minutes out of a 48-minute game. It's very difficult to get a complete game 82 times.
Pass is thrown away. Devin George has got it. The Lakers have a 2-on-1. Little volleyball pass back to Devin George, who throws it down two-handed.
Well, if Gary Payton doesn't volleyball that, that's going to allow Ben Wallace time to recover and make a real play on that shot by Devin George. That's a smart play by GP.
Below the screen once again. That's a big screen by Ben Wallace. Somebody's going to have to help out Gary Payton as Billups knocks down another one. He quickly has 18.
Again, I said, with shooters, you don't go underneath. You have to try to fight over the top, force him to some help. That last basket that the Lakers got on the fast break was a definite next tail direct connect. As Payton with the volleyball, and there is Devin George with the finish. Nice play.
As a volleyball expert of some sort, Stu, I got to get Gary to work on his hands a little bit.
Well, the end result is all that counts.
That's right. That's right. Kobe, pull-up jump shot off the back of the iron. Thought he'd made it. Here comes Billups once again. Hamilton running right side to Deshaun Prince. Billups loses his footing. The ball's up. Not another one of these. We had one in the first half.
Well, Eldon did the smart thing. Eldon said, I'm not going to be a ball handler. I'm going to fall on the floor, recover this fumble, and call a timeout. That's exactly what he did. The Pistons leading at 53-51 on Fox Sports Net.
The Lakers now trailing the Pistons 53-51 on a Friday night in Los Angeles. Some celebrities on hand. Ted Danson sitting down near courtside. A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez also here. The one and only Della Reese. What a fabulous talent she is. Adam Sandler also here, along with Jack Nicholson. And Magic Johnson along with Diane Cannon. Diane Cannon's been coming to Laker games for a long, long time.
Don't have time to show all the celebs
Nope.
that are here. Wouldn't have time for the game if we did that.
There's a handful for you. Tayshaun Prince to inbound the ball. 7:58 remaining in the third period. And since that first quarter, Stu, and maybe just the first half of that, the Detroit Pistons have been the better team. Billups coming around the screen, running screen and roll outside to Campbell, left all alone, 16-footer, and he makes that nicely.
Well, they shut off the dribble going to that screen on the sideline, but nobody rotated over to pick up Elvis.
Lakers in some trouble in the back court. Shaq goes high to help them out. Into the corner now. The Lakers trailing it by 4, 55-51. Payton swings it back outside. Had a good first half shooting the basketball, 5 of 7. Malone pump fakes. He's bumped by Eldon Campbell. Basket will not count. That's the third personal foul on Campbell.
Well, that's the one thing that most bigs have difficulty with, and that's playing off the dribble. Defense off the dribble as Eldon standing to erect. Gets called for the blocking foul.
Second team foul on the Pistons. The Lakers have yet to commit a foul in this period. George to inbound. Malone comes to get it. Hit his first couple of jump shots like Payton, but has cooled off since then. George with it, looking inside to Shaq. Double team not there, but Wallace goes to the weak side. Kobe can't get the pump fake going. Shaq, flat, jump hook, no good. Rebound taken by Detroit.
So Shaq has him set up for the drop step. He really tried to take that middle away.
Eldon Campbell got away with a walk, goes down the lane, lays it up and in. Eldon Campbell having a superb third period.
Eldon said, I'm going to stay out of foul trouble so I can stay on the floor. He got in early foul trouble in the first quarter. Sat on the pine the rest of the time.
Eldon Campbell now with 10 points in 8 minutes. Shaq wants it back. There's the drop step. Puts it up and in. Eldon Campbell bodying him up.
A lot of bodying to do. Eldon trying to keep his position, and Shaquille just overpowering.
Shaq now has 10. Billups again around the screen, comes back to Campbell. Why not? He's got the hot hand. Inside to Wallace, bumping, grinding with Malone. Turns, spins, will it count if it goes? Basket does not count. A blocking foul goes against Karl Malone, and Ben Wallace much more aggressive offensively. I don't know if it's the coaching change, the evolution of his game, or what, but he's looking for his shot a lot more.
I think most of it has to do with the coaching change, that they're telling him to be more aggressive with the basketball.
And we've watched him shoot. I mean, he was a terrible and still is terrible free throw shooter, but you watch him out there, he's got a nice stroke, spinning it up, no. Billups is denied. Shaq easily has the rebound, but everybody ran to midcourt. Shaq still on the dribble, gives it up to Payton. Lakers have been slowed. They trail it, Stu, by 4.
They forced Billups into the middle that time, and there's a lot of trees in the middle. Shaquille and Karl, and Chauncey threw up a very difficult shot that drew nothing.
Lakers led after one, 26-20. They were outscored 25-19 in the second. That took us to a 45-45 tie, and Detroit has gotten out quicker than the Lakers here in the third. They go into a zone off the inbounds play into Shaquille. He's got some room, turns. Nice move, blocked by Campbell. Off of Shaq, no. It'll be the Lakers ball 4 on the shot clock.
Smart play that time, going into a zone after the ball was taken out of bounds, and Shaq trying to take it up, and Eldon Campbell strips him of the ball, and now 4 seconds. They go into Shaq again. That's a 2-shot foul. That's going to be a whistle.
Ball was not caught in bounds when Bennett Salvatore blew his whistle. Boy, you're right. You're right, Stu.
If the ball was in the air, then it's not a 2-shot foul. If it's still in the man who's taking the ball out of bounds, if he still has possession of it and the whistle sounds, that's the 2-shot foul. So Eldon picks up that 4th. He'll have to go to the bench. And he was having himself a nice start to his third quarter.
Yeah, that's a big call in this game. It was a foul, no doubt about it, but Eldon Campbell going to the sideline at this juncture will certainly hurt Detroit. See if the Lakers can take advantage. Kobe with it, goes to Shaq. Rebracho played well in the first half, just grabbed Shaquille, no question about that. And now with 5:50 remaining in the period, Detroit at their 3rd team foul. No, they're out of fouls. That's their 4th team foul. So from now on, it'll be free throws for the Lakers.
Well, the Lakers shot them very effectively in the first 24 minutes, 87%. Let's see what they do in the second 24.
Malone's got it 18 feet out. High arching jump shot off the back iron. Rebound battle for and taken by the slightly built Rip Hamilton. Billups with it out to Rebraca. Doesn't really look to shoot it. Can shoot it from outside. Prince, little push off on Devin George. Fall back. No. Shaq's got another board. Quick snap pass. Payton's got it 2-on-1. Payton all the way to the basket. Lays it up and in. Great outlet pass by Shaquille.
That was the key to the whole thing. The outlet pass was all the way down to the free throw line. All Gary had to do was take 2 dribbles and waltz in for a layup.
57-55, 5:15 remaining in the third. Lakers need to pick up their defense. Hamilton, 1 dribble. He's being held by Kobe. That'll be Kobe Bryant's 3rd personal foul.
Well, you got to be strong to really be accurate with that 2-hand over-the-head pass, and Shaquille just whipped it down the floor. And Gary with 1, 2 dribbles, and he's there for the easy one. That's, you want to get a fast break going? It's a good way to do it.
Hamilton's got it. 1 dribble left side. Kobe tries to come from behind. No, the ball is tipped. Loose ball foul called on Rebraca. So it'll be free throws, and that'll either be coming to Karl Malone or Shaquille O'Neal. Will sort that out. Should probably be Shaq going to the line.
And that wasn't a good foul. There are times when going to the offensive glass and picking up a foul is not a bad idea. And those times are when your team isn't in foul situation. If you've got like 3 fouls to give, it's a good time to do it.
So Rebraca now picks up his 4th personal foul as well. So now Eldon Campbell on the sideline with 4 personals, and his replacement Jellicoe Rebraca. They've played a total of 15 minutes, Stu, and they've got 8 fouls between them. Shaq at the line. That one rims in and out. And college football this Saturday, presented by Kyocera, returns to Fox Sports Net tomorrow when Heisman hopeful B.J. Simmons leads Texas Tech against the 7th-ranked Texas Longhorns in a Big 12 showdown. And then at 3:30 Pacific, Arkellans Winslow has an exclusive interview with his son by the same name about his comments made last week, all on Fox Sports Net.
And they get that cheap call on Shaquille, as they said he stepped over the line on that free throw, and so they negate his 2nd free throw. And the Lakers come up dry on that trip.
Shaq having a word with Bennett Salvatore. Shaq was not happy about that. We've had that called probably almost half a dozen times so far early in the year. Hamilton with it, forced baseline, skip pass out to Prince. Foot on the 3-point line, no long rebound. Nice rebound by Malone. Lakers looking to run. Detroit gets back defensively. Back outside to Payton. Into Shaq. Good defensive rotation by Wallace. He's stolen entry passes a couple of times. Yeah, he traveled.
Give Gary Payton credit for that turnover.
Yep.
Nice job by Gary Payton. After committing the turnover, he got back and really did the job as he forced the turnover. Payton had a shot, but he noticed that Shaquille had good position and tried to throw it in, and Ben Wallace just roaming around. Makes the interception.
Doubling away from the play. Used to be illegal. That pass inside. Offensive foul is called on Shaquille O'Neal. That could, and this is going to be a technical foul.
Well, he could get a
delay a game.
Yeah,
huh?
delay a game. Shaq got lucky there. The basket, the backboard saved him a technical because he threw it. If it goes just a little bit higher, it's going to be it's going to be a technical foul. Shaq, fighting for position, gets called for the offensive foul.
Did you see a foul there, Stu? I saw some fouls, but sure about that offensive. Rebraca goes baseline, nowhere to go. Good defense by the Lakers. Payton being Gary Payton being ridden the whole way down the horse by Ben Wallace, and now Malone is thrown down, and it'll be free throws coming to the Lakers.
You know, the Pistons, in my mind, would be better served if Rebraca picks up another foul. I think they're going to be better if a core comes in because he can keep Shaquille away from the basket more, as Gary Payton trying to get the foul on Ben Wallace, and he's ridden all the way down the floor, but no whistle. And finally, the ball goes into Karl. Ben does pick up the foul, throwing Karl to the floor.
We'll have to check Gary for saddle sores after this one, as long as Ben Wallace was riding him down the court. Ben holding his hands up like he's doing nothing. Free throw is missed by Malone.
Technical foul on Shaquille O'Neal. You knew that
just
was
took a little. Yeah, I said it a minute or so ago. It just took a little while. Shaq was hot about that offensive foul call, and prior to that, the lane violation.
Well, now I'm concerned that he'll pick up an offensive foul on the other end, because when he gets mad, if the ball goes into him, he's going to the rack.
Shaq's only personal foul of the night. was that offensive. He's got 10 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists on 3 of 9 from the floor.
Well, he had 3 of those 4 assists in the first 6 minutes. He was really igniting everything the Lakers were doing. Then the Pistons changed their strategy and started to deny passes into the big fella.
Technical foul shot was good. Malone at the line. That's good as well. And the Lakers now trail at 58-56, 4:05 remaining. Chauncey Billups, the leading scorer in the game for both teams now with 19. The leading Lakers scorer are Kobe Bryant and Gary Payton with a dozen.
Kobe's got 3 fouls, and he's guarding a guy that's a lot on the move.
Bad shot inside by Rebraca. Shaq stopped that.
Well, why would you fall away? You want to draw the foul on Shaquille? Jump toward the basket.
Shaq down inside, has inside position, and Malone hits a 17-footer, give another assist to Shaquille O'Neal.
And right like as we speak, Okor's up off the bench. If you're trying to get Shaquille in foul trouble, you better have an offensive weapon out there, not someone who's just going to make a movement and jump away from contact.
Again, that big 4th foul on Eldon Campbell. Tayshaun Prince throws one up and in over Devin George and Shaq. Nice move by the left-hander.
Yeah, he's a smooth player, and he's learning more and more. He's just going to get better and better.
Malone, one dribble, gets rid of Ben Wallace and makes another fall-away jump shot.
Yeah, he really looks like he's feeling a little bit more comfortable on the offensive end as far as knowing when to shoot and when not to as far as the pass is concerned.
Now Malone takes over the scoring lead for the Lakers with 15. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Lakers lead it, or I should say are tied now at 60. Prince again wants to go left-handed. There he goes again, high off the glass. No Georgia. Oh, what a pass! Lay it up and in, Gary.
That was one of the best two-handed passes. He had to throw it over the defender who was trailing GP, but not by much, but yet keep it in place so GP could get it.
If you think that's an easy play, try it sometime.
That's on Kobe. That's 4. Well, we've got a timeout. The foul was called on Kobe. His 4th. And Shaq, what do you want him to do? Lead the break, which he can do. He's the biggest point guard in the league. Or do you want him to start the break? And he can do that very well. The Lakers lead it by 2 on Fox Sports Net.
Whiskey, like Jack Daniels. Welcome back, everybody, and the Lakers leading it 62-60 in their success against the Detroit Pistons. No surprise, too. They've won 9 out of the last 10 as this series goes back a long way.
Really does. The Lakers' success has been good, though. Out of the last 18 games, the Lakers are 16-2. Last home loss to this ball club was a double overtime loss back in 1997. The last home loss in regulation goes back even further, 11 years ago, 1993.
The Lakers lead the series all time 145-78. They first played against one another in the 57-58 season when that was the Minneapolis Lakers. And before that timeout, Kobe did indeed pick up his 4th personal foul, so he's going to have to sit for some while. Wallace out on the perimeter, crossover dribble, turns, gets inside, forces one up, did not draw iron. Good defense by Malone with some help from Shaq.
It's one thing to run Ben to be more aggressive offensively, but another thing to isolate for him. Just let him go one-on-one off the dribble in the post is different.
Shaq turns baseline. Oh, nice shot, threw it up and in. Beautiful move by Shaquille. I agree, Stu. They put Ben Wallace out on an island. That's not his game.
Well, I mean, if he would, receive that pass on the box, it would be one thing. Karl forced him out to the free throw line.
There's your call.
Yeah.
Mohamed Okor can step outside and really shoot the basketball. Only has 5, but look for him to free himself. Bobby Sura also in. Excuse me, Stu.
I would definitely would have preferred to have him, if I'm Larry Brown, on the floor a lot, trying just to keep Shaquille from playing the lane so much.
Shaq. Oh, he beat him baseline. Went right around and beat him like a throw. Oh, he threw it down. Look out, big fella.
He's an entertainer. He's a good basketball player, I know, but he's a better entertainer.
14 now for Shaquille to go along with 10 rebounds for the 5 starters in double figures. Lindsey Hunter just on for his 2nd stint. Out to Okor again. Gets a couple of dribbles down the lane. Malone comes over to help. Nice make by Mohamed Okor. Out of Turkey, played a lot of basketball for this team. The pace picking up. Derek Fisher hits nothing at all. The air ball's taken by Prince. Prince on the dribble, skips it to Sura. Usually a pretty good out. Ooh, my goodness. I usually said usually good outside shooter. Wow. Somebody left the door open. I think Shaq just closed it. Oh, he missed the layup. Thought he was fouled on the play. Here comes Detroit. They've got a number advantage. Sura down the lane finds Wallace, who hammers it home.
Well, see if the Lakers know the shot clock in the game clock. Shot clock's off. See if they work for one shot, trailing by one.
Boy, back and forth in this last minute and a half, Stu. 67-66 is the Pistons' lead. 7 seconds remaining. Malone's going to come over to set a screen. Payton around it. Steps back inside to Malone. Has Sura down in deep. Good execution. It'll be a couple of free throws. Karl Malone taking some exception to Bobby Sura wrapping him up down inside. Sura's trying to laugh the play off. I would too if I was looking at Karl Malone, 6'9", 265.
Well, with 2.9 to play, Brian Russell will come in, and the Lakers try to match up with some foot speed here. Probably come in for Shaquille.
Shaq's had a nice third quarter after a very quiet stretch. And Malone short again on the free throw. Shaq does go to the sideline, just as you thought, Stu. Shaq now with 14 points.
Now the only question mark is, and of course the scoreboard will dictate that, when do you bring back Kobe with the 4 fouls? Do you try him at about the 8-minute mark, or you try to ride him a little bit longer?
Malone good on the second of 2 free throws, and now the Lakers have to be aware defensively. Midcourt to Okur. He'll fire one up and find the backboard, but not close on anything else.
Well, same scores we had at halftime. Why'd we play the third quarter? We were tied at the half, and we're tied at the end of 3. We've got 12 more minutes of action to go. Shaquille, you're going to have to dominate with some help from your friends on Fox Sports Net. Free throw. Lakers and the Pistons tied at 67 at the end of 3. Karl Malone leading the way for the Lakers with 16. Payton with 14. Shaq has 14. And Kobe Bryant has 12. The bench, well, the bench of the Lakers being beaten to death. Pistons 22. Lakers 4. Chauncey Billups, leading scorer in the game, has 19 points. And Ben Wallace only has 5 rebounds because he's being active guarding Karl Malone.
And as anyone might imagine, Mehmet Okur stays on with Eldon Campbell and Jellicoe Rebraca both in foul trouble. Kobe Bryant starts the 4th and final period on the sideline carrying 4 personal fouls. Horace Grant out there, Derek Fisher pull-up jump shot. Oh, Shaq's got it down inside, lays it up and in. Really working hard at both ends, Stu.
Well, one of the problems you have with Shaquille, if you're defending him and Okur and everybody else on the Pistons is finding this out, if you're trying to deny him position and reception of the ball, then you're going to be out of position for offensive rebounds. You're on the side of him, and that gives him an opportunity to clean up the glass, as he did on the missed shot by Derek Fisher.
After really struggling at the line the last couple of games, jinxed in there. Nice play by Brian Russell to tap that out. Shaq on the night is 4 of 7 from the line. Inside, boy, did he bump off Okur. Came up short. Okur takes the rebound.
Okur has to watch leading with his chin. That was close. He almost caught one right on the chin.
Bobby Sura out there along with Corliss Williamson. Haven't seen much of Williamson. He had 5 quick points as soon as he came on. Okur tries the 3. Doesn't want to have anything to do with going down inside. Here come the Lakers. Payton looking for a seam. Steps back, pivots. Big jump shot by Gary Payton as the Lakers come out quickly in the 4th period.
Well, he stopped on a dime and everybody else couldn't. That's a reaction. Defense is a reactionary position, and they reacted too late. Yeah, it was open.
71-67. It's been mostly Detroit the last couple of periods. Lindsey Hunter answers back from 18 feet off the left wing.
And he can shoot the ball from three-point land. He was inside the three-point line that time, then goes down and picks up a foul on Gary Payton.
First personal foul on Lindsey Hunter. Let's now go down to the sideline quickly to Bill McDonald.
Very quickly, Sunday, a couple of things the coaching staff was talking to the Lakers about is Payton is going to make this. Oh, he's going to miss that layup. Defensive intensity the last 4 or 5 minutes. They loved it. Keep it up in this quarter. Shaq doing a wonderful job on the boards. They want him to continue. And when Billups gets back in the game, get out on him. Very concerned about Billups tonight. Back to you.
Nice pass from Shaquille O'Neal to Horace Grant, who's fallen away again, Stu.
Yeah, but he kissed that one off the glass and gets Shaquille yet another assist. The big fella has 7 to lead everybody playing.
Shaq headed towards possibly a triple-double. Lindsey Hunter working on the dribble against former teammate Derek Fisher. Comes baseline out to Williamson, 16-foot jump shot. Wow, that was a brick. And Payton out-hustles everybody for the rebound and is fouled over the top by Okur.
Well, see, those are the kind of fouls where centers especially, Okur, when you're playing against the Lakers, you can't waste them on guards. You got to save all of those for Shaquille, as Shaquille gets his 7th assist a minute ago with a nice pass to Horace Grant.
Okur quickly catching up with Eldon Campbell and Rebraca. That was his 3rd personal foul. Russell the handoff to Fisher. No foul there. Yeah, it's going to be a blocking foul, so he just caught up. That's his 4th personal. 2 free throws coming to Fisher. Nice play by Russell and good backdoor, or back cut, if you will, by Derek Fisher.
Well, if Derek can score free throws here, it might force Larry Brown to call a timeout. He's going to the bench right now and bringing back his starter, so I guess he's going to go right down the rotation again since they're all equal in fouls.
Eldon Campbell will be back in as soon as is allowed. Derek Fisher steps to the free throw line. So far, Derek has not attempted a free throw this evening. Been shooting free throws exceptionally well, 81% on the year. And as I say that, he rims it in and out. The Lakers are the worst free throw shooting team in the NBA.
No.
Yes. Yes. Not a surprise. With Shaq shooting about 10 a game and down at 46%, that's a surprise to no one. Fisher good on the second.
But he's got some help. I mean some company, I should say, because, not many Lakers are knocking the bottom out.
That foul from behind, easy play to call, holding foul from behind. Yeah, Karl Malone struggled at the line, and so has Gary Payton so far, Stu.
Gary picks up a foul on that play. That's his 3rd. There's 9:45 to play in the ball in the 4th quarter. With the way things have been going, who knows what this game might have.
Pistons are already out of fouls. Searle with it. That was the 1st team foul. That was the Lakers' 2nd team foul as Derek Fisher is called for a hold. The Lakers shot 45 free throws, making 28 on Wednesday night. That was a new season high as Chauncey Billups comes back in the game, leading scorer for both teams with 19.
Well, at the start of this 4th quarter, with the Lakers now up by 5 after being tied at the end of 3, has enabled Phil Jackson to take a little bit deeper breath. And now he decides, well, I'm going to put Kobe in it. Kobe gets up off the bench.
Probably going to put him on Billups, don't you think? Eldon Campbell, pull up, 17-footer, no, battle for the rebound. Syrup has it over Russell. Russell comes out, little suicide defense outside to Billups. Russell has to guard him now. Williamson wants it inside, should come out and set a screen. Billups goes down the lane, hacked across the arm.
And that's going to be a 2-shot foul there. Lakers weren't out of fouls, but it doesn't really matter. Billups is going to the line to shoot a pair as Kobe Bryant prepares to enter the game with 12 points. Maybe more importantly, 4 fouls.
You can tell Kobe's knee still not quite where he'd like it, being very careful to put ice on it whenever he's not in the game, and I'm sure he does the same at halftime. Brian Russell goes to the sideline, picked up his 3rd personal foul. So Kobe comes back in. He's played 28 minutes. He has 12 points. Perfect from the free throw line, 4 for 4, 3 rebounds, and just 1 assist.
Speaking of perfect from the free throw line, the Pistons, they're perfect as well, 8 out of 8, but that's only the 2nd free throw for them this half.
Both free throws up and good for Billups. He shot in the low 90s last year, and that's where he'll end up this year. Lakers lead at 74-71, 9:15 remaining. Billups now with 21. Inside to Shaquille. Been superb here in the 2nd half. Goes to Payton looking for some room against Syrup. 9 on the shot clock. How did he get through there? Oh, a reverse layup was a great try. Would not fall, and here comes Billups off the Campbell rebound.
Oh, sweet move by Gary Payton. Just couldn't get it to drop.
Down inside, Williamson has it in deep. Has that fall out. Campbell there for the putback. No, here comes Payton. Defense is back. Payton goes left side. Shaq running the middle of the floor. Out to Kobe. Thought about a 3 instead. Takes the floater against Lindsey Hunter and has it fall home.
recognition. He had the three, but he also recognized that, well, he can do that anytime he wants anyhow, as far as putting it on the floor and getting a better shot.
Especially against Lindsey Hunter. Very, very smart play by Kobe, recognizing that mismatch. Out to Eldon Campbell, missed an 18-footer. Shaq's available ahead of the pack. Instead goes to Fisher. Shaq wants the, beautiful pass. Slam dunk by Shaquille.
Now that's the kind of play, there's Larry Brown up off the bench. I was going to say, that's the kind of play that'll get Coach Brown up in a hurry as the Lakers get the rebound, push it up, and the big fella running down the floor. He's a guard, isn't he, or is he a center? I guess he's anything he wants to be. Throw it up, Fish, and I'll throw it down on Fox Sports Net.
And don't forget, Laker fans, tons of post-game coverage coming your way on the Southern California Sports Report immediately following this Laker telecast. Jack Haley, Carolyn Hughes, Lindsey Soto in the Laker locker room as we analyze and scrutinize. Nobody gives you more Laker coverage than the SCSR right here on Fox Sports Net. Stu and Sunday, do you agree?
Well, the Lakers leading 78-71, 8:13 to go in the fourth quarter, and they've taken this lead on the back of Shaquille O'Neal. 2 games in a row, he has been lightning quick, showing his moves on the baseline, off the dribble, whatever you want. The big fella has really been getting the job done. Then in transition, he says, well, I can play one-on-one if I beat everybody down the floor. And with that, he has had himself yet another good half. In the first half, they held him to only 5 field goal attempts. He only had 1 make. Second half, 6 out of 11. Big fella turned it on.
To go along with that, Stu, 7 rebounds and 4 assists as well. Ben Wallace back on. Billups being pounded. That ball deflected out of bounds off of tight defense from Derek Fisher. 11 on the shot clock. Exactly 8 minutes remaining in this game.
See ya.
Well, you wonder why Kobe has 4 fouls. He's guarding Richard Hamilton, and he has really done the job on him. Hamilton has very little production.
Campbell down the lane, tip no, off of Campbell. Good hustle by Ben Wallace. Campbell intercepted a pass intended for Chauncey Billups. Kareem Rush also on now with this unit.
Yeah, that pass was going to Chauncey, and Chauncey had spotted up. If Eldon hadn't gotten his big mitts in the way, it was a nice field goal attempt for Chauncey. In this quarter, the Lakers have shot 5 out of 9, while the Pistons are now 1 for 9. They've missed 7 in a row.
Derek Fisher, a tough one off the window. Big shot by Derek Fisher. The Lakers lead it by 9. Biggest lead was early in this game. It was a dozen.
Well, the defense has to continue with this kind of pressure.
Kobe chasing Hamilton all over the court, as is Kareem Rush on Sura. Out to Eldon Campbell. He can make that shot and does. He's on the floor. Shaq is at the offensive end. Eldon better hurry up. Wallace goes to pick him up. That's down inside. Shaq in traffic. Passes out to Horace Grant.
Still 7 minutes to go. You know the Pistons have another run in them, so you got to play consistent basketball.
Horace Grant was available on a mismatch. That's a big shot by Kareem Rush. Hits the 18-footer off the right wing. Boy, he was 4 for 20 from the floor, Stu, coming in.
He needs a couple of more of those. Not only that one there. That's a good start, but he needs more of that.
Billups working around the screen, comes back left side. Horace Grant there to help. Kick outside, dangerous pass. 8 on the shot clock, outside to Sura. A long 2-pointer is good.
They had him scrambled that time, but they found the open man, Bobby Sura, and he knocked down the shot.
82-75, 6.5 minutes remaining. Horace Grant comes back to help out. Kareem Rush against the pressure. Fisher goes baseline. Boy, what a nice running jump shot he made a moment ago. Inside to Horace Grant, Shaq on the weak side. Here comes Shaq down the lane in the key a long time. 7 on the shot clock. Rush guarded by Sura, wants to go left, pull up, tough fadeaway jump shot. He's got another one.
See, when he knows he has to take the shot, he's free. He's freer shooting the ball. There was no pressure on him that time because the shot clock was winding down. Nice play.
That's such a great point, Stu, because he's a scorer.
Yes, he is.
He is not a playmaker. Outside to Eldon Campbell, 18-footer, no. Nice rebound by Ben Wallace, who is being held by Horace Grant.
Well, Horace is saying, hey, you calling me for the hold? Didn't I get pushed? I guess not, because you called the foul on Grant. We've got a timeout. The Lakers up 84-75 on Fox Sports Net. 84-75, the Lakers over the Pistons with 5:49 to go in the fourth quarter. And the key matchup tonight was at that power forward position, Karl Malone and Ben Wallace, and they have really been going at it all game long. And what else would you expect from two power forwards that are as competitive as the two of them are? In the numbers, well, it looks like the mailman has the advantage. 16 points, 9 boards, 3 assists. Ben Wallace, though, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 5 steals, and 3 blocks. Ooh, that's good production for Ben, because he's not a scorer. He is a much better rebounder. Karl's done a great job of keeping him off the glass in that respect. But 5 steals, that's got to be close to his career high, isn't it?
We'll check on that. We'll check on that. He was among the league leaders last year, Stu, in that category as well as blocked shots. Ben Wallace playing with a little bit of a sore ankle as Derek Fisher is called for the blocking foul. Ben Wallace did not play in Sacramento on Tuesday. Did play in the overtime loss on Wednesday at Golden State.
Well, Fish gets the foul, I think more so because he reached with the right arm first. If his right arm hadn't been in there to start, that possibly would have been an offensive foul. Good anticipation by Fish, but the foul was called in Chauncey's favor.
And the Lakers are out of fouls for the rest of this one, and putting Chauncey Billups at the line is like putting Reggie Miller at the line through the years. Well, basically automatic.
Put any of them on the line, it seems, right
tonight,
now.
Yeah.
Although to make your point, they've only shot 10, and Chauncey's made now 11, and Chauncey's made 8 out of the 11. So maybe they better put somebody else there.
Well, the Lakers come out of the backcourt, 5:40 remaining. A little jump and switch defense employed by the Pistons. One more game for them on this 4-game trip. That'll be Saturday at Phoenix. Excuse me, Sunday. Kobe shakes, pull-up jump shot, good again by Kobe Bryant.
Well, they like Payton as a defender, but I tell you something, that's a tough matchup. But that's a tough matchup for anybody.
Kobe's got 16. Wallace out above the three-point line. Kobe all over Hamilton right now.
This has been a superb defensive game by number 8, Kobe Bryant.
Wallace, 15-footer. Shaq comes out to challenge it. Ben Wallace drives that one home.
Took his time, didn't worry about the big fella approaching, knocked it down.
Kobe, stutter step. Detroit coaches wanted a traveling violation. Back to Kobe, around a good screen from Horace Grant. Off the side of the iron, Shaq hustles after the offensive rebound. Kobe cuts baseline. Inside to him, now Shaq going baseline. 17 on the shot clock. Kobe spins, nice pass out to Fisher. For 3, off the back of the iron. And Fisher hustles after the long rebound. 17-footer no, and Campbell loses the rebound out of bounds. Derek can't believe he missed them both.
Yeah, he had 2 very good looks as Devin George comes in for Kareem Rush. And Kareem Rush, did his job while he was out there. Also coming back is Gary Payton and the mailman. So the Lakers are going to play the final 4.5 with their starters on the court.
Good stretch for Kareem Rush. Horace Grant goes to the sideline along with Fisher. The Lakers tonight, Stu, 0 for 4 from three-point range.
Well, then we're going to get out of that distance and get inside there.
Detroit shows some zone again off the inbounds pass. George thought about it. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Outside to Kobe. Shaq wants the lob pass. Campbell comes over to help block from behind, but the foul is going to go on either Ben Wallace or Eldon Campbell.
Well, probably Eldon.
Yep. Yeah, they gave it to Eldon Campbell. So Shaq will get back to the line.
Now this is the time when the free throws start to magnify. What they all count the same, whether it was in the first quarter or the last quarter. But seemingly, the only ones people remember are the ones down the stretch.
Shaq going to the line. Want to remind you what the Lakers' upcoming schedule is. We know Sunday the Miami Heat are here, and then at Detroit for a rematch at New York, and then versus the Chicago Bulls, who got off to a very, very slow start and are playing much better basketball. The upcoming schedule brought to you by Coors. Shaq missed the first free throw. The Lakers continue to lead, however, 86-79, 4:14 remaining.
You know, we were talking about the steals of Ben Wallace, and I was wondering what his career high was. It's 7. He's approaching it.
He's got 5. I was looking in the books, too. Trust me, I was flipping. Just trying to do a few other things at the same time. Here comes Billups. Stutter step, gets down the lane, lays it up and in. Nice move by Chauncey Billups.
Well, that's where you have to make Chauncey pass the ball, though, as one of the bigs. You have to step over and go for that block, make him pass the ball.
25 now for Billups, and Larry Brown has really been singing his praises and knows him well after coaching at Indiana and Philadelphia for the last several years. Billups now just in his second season.
Lakers unaware of the clock.
4 seconds on the shot clock. Bad possession. Got to shoot it. Quick shot.
No, he did not get rid of that one.
That's a good call. The crowd's not going to like it, but it was waved off, and rightly so.
In that sequence again, the Lakers they didn't have their spacing, and that's what prevented them from running their offense. And then at the last 5 seconds, when Devin got the ball, he realized he had to throw it up, and his was an air ball, which led to the violation.
16 turnovers tonight. It was a couple of games ago at Memphis. The Lakers turned it over 23 times and then cleaned that up back to 11 against Toronto, and now sloppy again tonight with the ball. Inside to Okur, walking again. Oh, nice spin move. Malone. Oh, and Devin George swats it out of bounds.
Devin George from behind. I mean, Okur had no idea where Devin George was. He was worried about the mailman, and all of a sudden, Devin says, keep that weak stuff out of here.
6 on the shot clock, out to Wallace. Billups, quick pull-up jump shot. Good once again. He's got 27.
Now, the one guy you didn't want to get the ball with 5 seconds or so to go did get it.
Good design on the inbounds play. He took it out of bounds and then came around to screen. The Lakers lead is 87-83. Kobe comes around to screen, drops to Shaq, lays it up, runs right over Ben Wallace. Offensive foul.
Well, that stops it. That's a turnover, so that continues their poor shooting down the stretch. They've missed their last 4 shots after making the previous 6. We've got 2 minutes, 51 to go, and here come the Pistons. They're down 87-83 on Fox Sports Net.
Welcome back, everybody. The Lakers leading at 87-83. And Stu, let's take a look at a couple of interesting out-of-town scores.
Early in the season, San Antonio goes on the road and loses to Philadelphia 100-96. AI, Allen Iverson with 36, and Tim Duncan hit 35. Indiana whoops up on Seattle 101-78. The Sonics' second loss of the season. They only shot 37% from the field. I would say that you generally lose games you shoot. You lose all games you shoot 37%, but that hasn't been the case this year. Denver beat the San Antonio Spurs, was it?
Early in the year, both of them shot below 30%. If I'm not.
Yeah, both teams shot under 30%. So it's been ugly.
That's 2 dead skunks showing up for the same game. Chauncey Billups comes out of the backcourt. We'll see how this one rosies up the end of the basketball game. Wallace goes down the lane, takes it in on Shaq, who rejects that shot. 2:41 remaining.
Well, he went right at Shaq. They had that play set up in the huddle. They said, get it, take him off the dribble. And Wallace did, but Shaq got a handle it.
Got to watch Billups coming back to get it once again. Ball's on the floor. Kobe's on the floor. Ball's still in play. Malone's down after it. Good hustle by Kobe Bryant and Karl Malone.
That's a super play. Super play by both of them. Ball was free. Kobe with the dive to try to get to it on the sideline. And then Malone recognizing the fact that Okur was close to touching the ball while he was on the sideline. That would have been a violation. So it's a jump ball at midcourt, since that's the closest circle to where the ball was.
How smart was Kobe? Helped to knock that ball loose, but recognized that a lot of his body was out of bounds. So swiping at the ball, but not actually touching it. Otherwise, the ball would have gone to Detroit. So Okur's going to step in against Malone. The ball is tipped, and the Lakers take it. So an important turnover, if you will, for the Pistons.
Yeah, big turnover now, especially if the Lakers can convert on the turnover. That's some of the key.
And Malone turns it over right back. Kobe riding on Hamilton. Here comes Billups, picked up by Payton. Billups working on the dribble outside to Wallace. A couple of dribbles. Pull up 17-foot jump shot off the back iron. Long rebound is hustled after. That's another held ball situation. This time Devin George and Kobe there against Hamilton.
Well, they hustled the last time and forced the jump ball. This time they do the same thing. Kobe and Devin George. Rip Hamilton has it over his head, and as he's trying to bring it down, both Kobe and Devin get their hands on it. So who's going to be the guy on the jump ball? We've got some blood on Ben Wallace, so we've got a 20-second, or can be a 20-second timeout, because the Pistons already used. Didn't they use theirs on? It's just a medical, and they got a little bit of time. They have to hurry up and stop the blood, or else they have to take a timeout.
And they do not want to take Ben Wallace out of this game right now.
So what are they doing down there? That's way too much time.
Way too much time.
Not only that, they're allowing them to all huddle, and they're giving the coach time to give them instructions at the same time.
Yes, bad officiating right now, and as Ben Wallace is being tended to, we want to remind you, coming up right after tonight's game, it's the Southern California Sports Report. 30 minutes of nightly sports news completely dedicated to the home teams throughout Southern California. What we'll be talking about tonight, Lakers interviews and post-game comments and updates. Bill McDonald in the locker room, UCLA, USC, football previews, and a Clippers report. They were playing up at Golden State this evening.
Well, they're going to have to substitute for Ben. They can't get the blood to stop, I guess. So Ben goes out of the game, coming back in, Eldon Campbell. When you need points, I don't know if that's a bad substitution or not. I mean, Eldon obviously is a much better shooter than Ben Wallace, even though his offense has picked up. Eldon known to be a guy that can knock down the 15-footer.
So Poor stays out there along with Billups, Prince, and the jump ball is controlled once again by the Lakers. So 2 held balls, 2 turnovers.
Devin just flat out jumped him that time.
Kobe's got it, directing traffic. They want to go to Shaq. Going up against former teammate Eldon Campbell. Shaq has it. Kobe cuts through the lane. Jump hook. Rims in and out. Rebound taken by Campbell. 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining. Here comes Detroit. Billups, pull-up jump shot. Can he get another one? No. Nice rebound by Shaquille.
Well, let's see what the Lakers do now. Will they look to go quick, or will they run their offense and use up some of the 24?
Malone cutting through the lane. Payton still with it. 10 on the shot clock. Inside to Shaq once again. Back outside to Payton. Can he hit a 3? You bet he can!
The first 3-point basket for the Lakers tonight. And Gary Payton couldn't have picked a better time to knock it down. They were only leading by 4. That stretches the lead to 7 with 1 minute and 26 left to play. Still a lot of time, but you'd rather be up than down on Fox Sports Net. Well, the Lakers up by 7, 90-83. And the last possession, obviously big in this ball game. We'll find out just how big when the game ends. But Gary Payton running the show. Looks inside to Shaquille. Inside out. Look at the defenders all around Shaquille. Spots Gary. Gary spots the basket and bottoms out. Knocks down the Lakers' first 3-pointer of the ball game. That's the first 3-point basket for GP. What'd you say, Paul, in 5 games?
5 games.
In 4, he's only had 4 attempts in those 5 games, but it's been a long stretch, and couldn't have come at a better time, Gary.
3-point shooting, a big part of Payton's game throughout his career, and hadn't had the stroke going so far in the early season. So far, he's just 5 for 19, 24%. But that was a big make. 126 remaining. The Lakers now lead it 90-83.
Now you don't want to give it right back. You don't want to let them score a 3-point play or a 3-point basket.
Ben Wallace comes back in. The bleeding is stopped. Billups has it. The leading scorer in the game so far. There's Hamilton. A long 2-pointer. Nice pull-up jump shot.
He hasn't had many shots because Kobe has been blanketing him.
Only 6 points for Rip Hamilton. The most dangerous part of their team offensively. Kobe continues to go baseline. Malone pops out. Shaq wants it down inside. Out to Payton once again. Shaq clears the lane. 9 on the shot clock. Kobe a couple of dribbles. Punt fake. Has to double clutch it. Good defense by Hamilton. Lakers lead is 90-85. 50 seconds remaining right now.
They only need 1 stop. If they get the stop here, game's there.
Tayshaun Prince down the lane, awkward-looking left-handed jump shot, but that's his move.
Yeah.
Very nice play.
Yeah, he's got that little jump hook there that he uses, and it's a nice play. He brings the Pistons back to within 3.
Malone with it, turns, goes to Kobe, attacks the basket. Offensive foul. Offensive foul. Wow.
Are you kidding me?
What a huge call made by Bennett Salvatore.
Wow, I thought he was in the restricted area as pass came from Karl Malone, and he was definitely outside the restricted area, and wave off the basket, gives an offensive foul to number 8, Kobe Bryant on Fox Sports Net.
So Kobe Bryant, the basket is waved off, and let's take another look, Stu.
You know, and with the naked eye, I thought it was the he was outside the key. Initially, I thought he was inside that line, but he was outside the line. Kobe goes up, gets to contact, The referee right on the spot makes the call, give the ball to the Pistons. 33 seconds. Lakers should get the last shot, so they don't want to give up a three-point play again.
And do not foul a three-point shooter. Out to O'Koor, he has to double touch it, goes to the floor, back outside to Billups, and they get another look at it. Billups takes a very quick three-pointer short. Shaq is going to be fouled immediately. Wow. What a strange sequence.
That surprised me. They acted as if the clock was running out completely. That was a shot to beat the game clock.
Yeah, I didn't understand what the rush was, Stu.
They had some shot attempts as O'Koor had Malone run at him. He shoots up one that misses, but there's Tayshaun to give one back to Chauncey Billups. You know, when you're guarding against a three-point shot, you don't get sucked into the key area if you're guarding guys around the perimeter because you know what they're looking for. That's how they ended up getting the shot for Chauncey Billups. And now the Lakers have to make at least one of these free throws to ensure victory.
First one up and good for Shaq. Had a huge second half. 20 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists. And Chauncey Billups, back to that last skirmish, who took that shot with 21 seconds remaining in the game.
Well, Shaq becomes the Gatorade player of the game as he knocks down not one, but two. Count them, two. And the Lakers go up by 5 with 20 seconds to play in the regulation. Shaquille O'Neal, I know you did it, and you always do on Fox Sports Net.
After Shaquille O'Neal's 2 big free throws with 20.2 seconds remaining, the Lakers lead it 92-87. Want to remind you once again, coming up right after this game is a Southern California sports report. Have interviews from the locker room and a post-game report as well. Paul Sunderland with Stu Lance. Lakers need a stop. Now, does Detroit go quick and foul, or do they look for the 3 again?
Well, they've got to get the quick basket. I mean, a 3 would be perfect, obviously, but they need more than 3 points. So they've got to get a quick deuce, get a foul, and then hope that the Lakers miss 2 free throws and then go for the 3-point shot. But they need a miracle is what they need. And if the Lakers do things properly, they'll make them work to get the points. Don't foul, and obviously don't give up a 3-point shot.
Chauncey Billups, one of the obvious choices. He's a 40% three-point shooter, and Tayshaun Prince doesn't get many opportunities, but he's made 53% of his shots from downtown so far. Into Wallace, not a threat from there, although he looked like he thought about it. Cuts to the basket. Detroit's taking way too much time.
They're looking for the 3. They need more than 3.
O'Koor forces one up. That's a good play. Chauncey Billups misses the layup, but it'll be free throw time.
Well, you don't want to foul. I mean, even though you got a 5-point lead, you don't foul. As Chauncey will go to the line now and shoot 2 free throws. You know, you mentioned they were taking so much time. They were. I mean, they were looking for a 3-point basket. Obviously, they need more than a 3-point basket. They needed to get a 3, then some. So get the quick deuce. The Lakers were not going to foul, or at least I didn't think they were, on a 2-point shot.
Chauncey Billups, automatic again from the free throw line. As Detroit has been all night long, they're a perfect 12 for 12, while the Lakers from the line are 19 for 27.
Chauncey gets up there and just nonchalantly knocks down every free throw. What is he, 10 for 10?
Yep, Detroit will foul immediately if Devin George can get the ball in. Nice back cut by Payton, and that takes off a couple of valuable seconds.
Well, the smart thing there on that play was the fact that Devin realized he did not have to stand still along the baseline after a score, because they were trying to play denial, and they were doing a pretty good job for 3+ seconds, and then he moved along the baseline and found an open Gary Payton.
It's amazing the number of times veteran players
brain lock.
Yeah, and just don't think that they can run. Gary Payton up and seals the deal. 7 seconds remaining. The Lakers lead it now 93-89. Next up, Eddie Jones and the Miami Heat on Sunday, and then back to Detroit and New York next week. Both free throws are good. Good solid balance by the Lakers. Payton now has 21 to match Shaq. Don't foul. That is missed. Malone battles for the rebound, and a good win by the Lakers tonight, Stu. Inconsistency still there, but very good in the second half, particularly Shaq.
Yeah, I thought they did a real good job in the second half.